Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first revamped... Actually, it's the second, kind of, because the original I filmed at your house. But we're doing this high-definition style now. Welcome to the first high-definition episode of Gavagan DARK, where it has recently been decided that we will be talking entertainment news, video games, movies, TV shows, music, books even.
Perhaps, yeah.
Let's talk about books.
General discussion of anything.
Have you read any good books lately?
There are some good books out there. I mean, I'm not really much of a reader myself, unfortunately, but I have read some good stuff.
Yeah, I have too. You know what? One of my favorites. Goosebumps.
Oh, I remember
And
Goosebumps.
let me tell you, if you're too young to catch on to what, and you're like, well, what's that? And I know there aren't many of you, but there are some of you. Do it. Go and go into your bookstore, your local bookstore, and just check out Goosebumps. I recommend it because those I grew up on. And if you don't know what Goosebumps are, you're probably young enough to read them.
Goosebumps had some good stuff.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. R.L. Stein.
Oh, those were the days.
What a genius.
Oh, man.
What a genius. Truly.
Back in the 90s, you know?
Oh, man. Monster Blood. Monster Blood. I just love that stuff. But anyway. So welcome. Hope you're having a good day. Good night, actually. It's Gavagan DARK after all. But, however, there's people all around the world watching. So, whatever it is, I hope you're enjoying your day and everything. So
and hopefully we can make it better for you.
We are making it better.
I know.
There's
no
there's no ifs, ands, or buts. If you are like, I hate this guy, why are you even here? So that's my question.
Have a fun time.
So, let's jump into something I want to talk about really quickly, and that's the fact, and I'm so proud of this, that I got Bob to play Mass Effect.
Yep. Oh, man. And I gotta tell you, with video games, I mean, I've always been a big fan of playing video games, but one problem I've always had with playing video games is that I just could never really seem to get very deep into the story. But I gotta tell you, I don't know what it is about the storyline of Mass Effect. I got literally emotional involved in the game. I was literally playing it for how many hours the other day? It was like,
no, we played. I
lost track of time.
You played I think you played for about 6 hours.
Yeah. I mean, I'm getting...
Which to a lot of gamers, that's not very much. That's not very much to a lot of gamers, but for a storyline like Mass Effect, it's just...
Yeah.
It draws you in. It's not like playing 600 rounds of Call of Duty.
No.
And before you know it, you've wasted away 3 days, and you're like, oh my god.
And I gotta say that, Rob, I want to thank you for getting me involved with that game because, on a separate note, aside from this, I remember when the first Mass Effect game was coming out back in, 2007? And when the game was in development, I was so excited to get the game because it had the whole idea of space exploration, which I'm all about that. I love, the idea of what could be out there in the universe. But then when the game finally came out, I don't know what happened. Like, I just forgot about the game, apparently. And I just,
it
I
happens.
never ended up getting it.
It happens. There's been so many times where I've put... I don't know. These consoles, for instance, the console wars, the Xbox One versus the PlayStation 4. That's one of the instances. I don't have either one. I would like both of them, but now that I have the YouTube channel and I treat it like a business, that I reinvest all this money. But there's a certain thing to be said for when games are out there and they have a huge hype. You know what I mean? You're really into it, and you're like, I gotta get this friggin' game, and then you miss out on the midnight release. You're like, well, I don't have the money right now. I'll get it in a week. I'll get it in a couple weeks, whatever. I get paid on Friday, and then you get the money, and you're like, do I want to put down the $60? Like, I could do this, or you have some unexpected thing. So that's what happens.
All that waiting anticipation just comes out one moment
there's
a change of heart,
There are so many games I've wanted to play, and I just don't have them still. And
me too.
Life gets in the way. It does.
I gotta tell you too, with Mass Effect, not only is, the story so driven and everything, and it really, captivates you inside of it, it's just... The voice acting itself too is phenomenal. I love all the voice acting.
The voice acting's terrific. I love how they actually got celebrities, like some celebrities, some actors to voice the characters.
Seth Green, Keith David, I believe his name is, who does the voice of Captain Anderson.
Yeah. I don't know.
Such a great actor.
Is that his name?
I can
look it up. Look it up. We got to confirm this. This is why we have laptops.
I'm gonna look it up.
So we're not complete morons. But no, he's great. He's got just such a unique voice.
Yeah.
God, why don't you just put in his name, Bob?
I'm looking up on IMDb.com. Such a great site.
Oh man. Yeah.
Don't worry, I got this.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. So
yes, Keith David.
Keith David,
his name.
yeah,
yes.
He's got such a unique voice. That guy, like, and I don't know. The Mass Effect series is my favorite series of games. Final Fantasy VII used to be my favorite game ever. Final Fantasy VII was just where it was at for me.
I gotta say though, my other aside, because Mass Effect has now actually officially become one of my new favorite games because it's so captivating. But another game that I've always had a really big liking for is Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six. I've always been to the games, and as far as I know, they're still in development with making Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Patriots. Which, if any of you are interested, that I'm talking about this game, I guess they've kept canceling the game and everything, but I guess they ended up scratching the idea, and now they're restarting it from scratch all over again. So we're probably going to have to wait a few more years for this game to come out, but I've always been a big fan of that game.
Yeah. No, that's, yeah, I couldn't get into it.
Well, not everyone can, you know.
I mean, just because it's bad, mainly. No, I'm just kidding. But, yeah, no, there's, I don't know, it's one of those things. But yeah, Mass Effect is just so captivating. The whole series really is. And here's the thing. And you're just about to end the second one, and you're about to go into the third one. And what you got to understand is that the third one's ending, in my opinion, and the general consensus, I was on BioWare's forum for quite some time. I joined BioWare's forum when the Shepard, your Shepard from Mass Effect 2 wouldn't transfer over into Mass Effect 3.
Yes, I remember you telling me about that.
That devastated me because it's like, this is the Shepard I have had. I designed him myself, and I can't just play a different looking and just... That's like what they did with the Mummy. The Mummy 3.
Oh my God,
you know how they replaced Rachel Weisz? And instead of just like saying, okay, Rachel Weisz dropped out because the script is complete crap, instead of just rewriting a bit and trying to like... I would have preferred improv.
Yeah.
If they just take her out and say, Rachel, oh, sorry, Brendan Fraser, you know, your wife died, I guess. You know, and she died fighting some kind of zombie. And it's just like, oh, how sad. And then they roll out from there. They replaced the actress, and they still said that was Rachel, that was supposed to be Rachel Weisz's character. And I'm just like, this is terrible.
Yeah.
And the movie was horrible.
Yeah, I mean, what happened with the movie itself? I mean, it was... The first two were obviously, you know, better, but just the third one, I mean... I honestly don't know what was going through their minds when they were making that.
You know? I have no idea. But the thing about... Yeah, so that's kind of why I couldn't just use a new Shepard. It would have ruined the story for me. So I waited for them to release a fix for it, which they did. But I went to the BioWare forums, just saw what everyone else was dealing with, and we were all just kind of talking and everything like that. And I became a little part of the community there. And everybody was so enraged. There were banners as people's signatures. You know, Tally deserves a better ending. Liara deserves a better ending. It just scrolled through. Shepard deserves a better ending, and it's just like this movement. It was crazy, and I was totally for it because. You'll see.
Yeah, I'll get there
Here's
eventually.
the thing. They released an additional, downloadable content that kind of patches in some of the holes as best as they could with the time that they had and the resources that they had, and that's fine. There were still some holes you shall see, possibly.
Didn't you even say that when they were making Mass Effect 2 that one of the lead writers dropped out or something?
Drew Karpyshyn, yeah, I believe that's how you pronounce his last name. Yeah, he was the lead writer for the first and second one. He also wrote the 3 original books, and then Mac Walters took lead, and he kind of screwed it up for the third one. Not single-handedly. There are writers as a team.
Yeah, there's a whole group of them.
But, it's one of those things that it's writing. It's just like in movies. You can't have a good movie with a bad script.
Yeah, exactly.
You can have a bad movie with a good script. You can have a great script and still produce a bad movie. But if your script is crap, your movie's crap. And the same thing goes for video games. The same exact thing.
Gotta have the script in order to make the production come alive.
And that's what I can't deal with when people say that, people like video games, like, why don't you watch a movie? Why don't you read a book? It's just like, I'm doing both combined.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like, really, I'm investing myself in a story and everything. Like, get off my back.
I know. I mean, because I think it's actually kind of cool how, they actually get actors that are actually in video games and stuff. Like, they'll actually have actors come in and do the motion capture sessions and all that stuff, which I think, what, I gotta tell you, for someone like me also who's a filmmaker, I would seriously absolutely love to do a voiceover for a video game and also to do the motion capture for a video game as well. I think that'd be a really cool experience in my mind. And I think that'd just be a really cool experience.
I would love... Mass Effect is the game. I mean, and I know the 4th one's coming out and everything like that. And
yep,
but
I read about that too.
It's I would have loved to have voiced the Mass Effect. God, just what a great series of games. And I want to do voiceover work. That's something I want to do.
Me too. I think it would be really fun.
I think it would be too. So, but yeah, so I've done a little bit of voiceover stuff. I did it for like an app game on an iPhone. So
really?
Yeah, but it's not released yet. I don't know when it shall be released, but I suppose we shall find out.
I think the only voiceover work I've actually ever technically done is doing narrations over my own video projects.
Like your ketchup commercial, Bob?
Yes, the ketchup commercial and my Gatorade commercial and which I don't recommend.
I'm not showing those.
I don't recommend checking those out. Those are my earlier productions when my skills and knowledge of film were not.
Maybe I'll show those.
Oh God.
I mean, I could just put it in if I wanted.
Oh, is it going to be coming spring or late spring?
Spring or late spring.
I can't believe I wrote that.
Neither can I. That's absurd. But moving on from that,
yes,
we've got Kayla DeWitt is mentioning Bioshock Infinite, and we talked about this last time, but this is all new, so why not? And Kayla DeWitt, I wonder why her last name's DeWitt, because Booker DeWitt. Hello. Connections. Isn't that fun?
Just don't make the same mistake I made with the Bioshock games.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Here's the audacity behind it. I'll just mention this quickly because I know we have people in here who were here last time for this. Bob decided, hey, Bioshock seems like fun. I'm going to go out and I'm going to buy Bioshock Infinite without playing the first two. And I know you don't have to play the first two.
I was going to say, it looked different.
It is different. However, there's one part at the end of the game, you just have to play the first two first.
Yeah, but that's at the end of the game, though.
You're going to get to the end, you're going to be like, what's that? Oh, and here's another thing Bob did that drove me absolutely freaking crazy, okay? Let's talk about the Hunger Games for a second.
Hey, it wasn't my fault, okay? I've already told you that several times.
No, it's your fault. So, Bob decided, now the Hunger Games, I don't know if you've read the books. I have not read the books, but I have watched the movies there, the first two there. The Hunger Games and then Catching Fire.
It's definitely on a hot streak.
Don't start your crap.
I won't.
Bob decides to... Now, if you've seen the movies, you'd know that the second one pretty much ties into the first without too much explanation about what's going on. Bob decided to go see the first. Okay. I mean, the second first. Without seeing the first.
Let me correct this.
Correct what?
Your statement.
What do you mean? You saw the second one without seeing the first one?
I didn't just see the second one. I was forced to go see the second one.
Okay, it doesn't matter. Irrelevant.
I was forced to see it despite the fact that I never saw the
Irrelevant
first one.
the elephant. That's what I say.
Yeah? So it wasn't my fault that I saw that one without seeing the others.
I
got forced to see it.
Yeah,
so.
but God. And then you're like, I'm like, well, I didn't even ask what you thought of it. You're just like, yeah, I don't know. I wasn't really into it. I'm like, well, no crap. You pretty
I tried to get into it. I mean, the action sequences...
Yeah, but you don't know what's going on in the first one.
I was developing an idea, you know? I mean, I was... not really understanding, but at the same time, I was
developing an idea. I was filling in the blanks with my own thoughts and preconceived notions of what the Hunger Games was like.
It's
ridiculous. True. Oh, yeah, she must have done this. I can just assume that. Let's assume she did this in the first one. And
what?
My God.
It wasn't my fault. I'm expressing that completely with a lot of
overall
passion.
Bioshock Infinite was a terrific game. I like what they touched upon, and it was good.
But I have to say though, I do like Mass Effect better than Bioshock.
Oh, I like Mass Effect much better than Bioshock.
Bioshock
here's the thing: they are different games.
Yeah,
we get it. But for storyline, for voice acting.
Mm-hmm.
Just for the emotional attachment, you definitely encounter those feels in Bioshock. You do, but you don't encounter them on the same level as you invest in characters in Mass Effect, and that's something that a lot of games, don't touch upon too much. They kind of just crap out the game and get it over with, and you're a badass and you're killing things and whatever.
I just love kind of those games where it's like your decisions, can really
your
create
decisions
the outcome of the game.
Affect, and everyone plays a different game pretty much. I mean, there's only a certain amount of combinations, but everyone pretty much plays a different game, and that's kind of crazy.
It is. It really is.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
And I love it. I love it. Sly Froggy asks, favorite PC games?
Oh, man. Oh.
And you want to know what mine is? And I'm going to be completely honest with you. It used to be the Red Alert series.
I used to love Red Alert.
That's one of them. Red Alert was just Command and Conquer Red Alert. Red Alert 2 was oh my gosh. I love those strategy war games. I have to say though, time and time again, the game I just keep coming back to, and I don't have it installed now, but I know I eventually will again. The Sims.
The Sims?
Because
not a favorite of mine, but a liking of mine.
I played it on PlayStation 2. I had
I never understood how you could actually do that. Play it on the consoles. I mean,
they had a space limitation.
Really?
So you could only build a certain amount, and you're like, what the hell? I mean, I understand that in The Sims they have the spacing, your lot limitations and how high you can go and everything like that, but they actually had okay, you can't buy any more furniture because you've maxed out all your items.
Oh, jeez.
And I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, this is terrible. I'm like, how the hell am I going to throw my pimp parties now? How am I going to build? And here's what I do every time, and this ruined my fun. I will have one guy move in the neighborhood, and he's an absolute creep. And he wants to get with every chick.
Really?
That's just what he wants to do.
Oh, man.
And I'm like, I'm gonna get with all these chicks. And I go in there into the neighborhood, and I'm like, hey, what's up? And I go to the parties, and I throw parties, and I'm that guy. I'm like, I don't know. I'm friggin' Bruce Wayne. I am this rich bastard, and I could just throw these parties and just save face for the darkness I truly am. And I go there, and all of a sudden, I'll be friends with couples, and I'll be like, yeah, okay, let's. How about you just instead of throwing a party? I mean, the pool is whatever, kind of cold out. Let's have just you two come over. You and your wife will party.
Hey,
you know what I mean?
So it sounds
and I invite the husband.
Oh.
You never invite the wife because the wife's just kind of an extension. And you're not supposed to invite the wife or else it rouses suspicion. So you invite the guy, hey, why don't you come on over with Lori? We'll have a cookout. We'll have some dogs, some burgers.
How you doing,
Let's
Tony?
have a little fun. Yeah, Tony's bringing over a pizza later. And then, but what I do is I have a jail cell in the basement.
Oh.
Okay? Screw with me. And let's just say the jail cell isn't very good. It's got a fireplace though. It's got a lot of potted plants that are dead and dried out. You know where I'm going with this?
Oh, I think they can get an idea of where you're going.
They walk in, fire's going. There's a few bear rugs in there, a few dozen. And they're all right against the fireplace. And then I kind of just have them go in and I kind of just delete the door. Kind of just do that.
You know what?
And the place kind of sets on fire, and the fire department kind of shows up and kind of can't get into the room because there kind of ain't a door.
I've done the same thing.
And he kind of burns alive. And then I make this sick sadistic cemetery in the back, and I watch the ghosts come out and haunt the crap out of my house.
I did the same thing. I remember years ago I was playing The Sims on the PC, and there was one guy who was so annoying. I invited him to the house, and sure enough, he goes into one certain room. I took all the windows and the doors out, and then eventually he ended up starving to death, and he ended up dying.
I love it when I like speed it up. I do like high speed. And I'm just like watching him, and he's just like, and then pees his pants. Then he like collapses, gets back up, pees his pants, collapses until he just stops getting up. Or no, he gets up, and then all of a sudden he's like, oh!
And then the ghost arrives,
yeah,
and then your house becomes
all of a
haunted.
sudden, ooh, and then they implemented the Grim Reaper later on.
Yeah.
That was fun. That was fun. You can't beat that. So, Bob.
Yes, Rob.
You have an update for us concerning when it comes to the Oculus Rift. Mm-hmm. Bob's the guy. Because Bob just keeps up to date on the Oculus Rift because he is so obsessed. So hit it, Bob. Just freaking hit it.
The Oculus Rift. For those of you who may not know what the Oculus Rift is, let me be the one to inform you about this. The Oculus Rift is going to be a new state-of-the-art virtual reality headset that was actually... It was actually created by a 21-year-old guy named Palmer Luckey and he actually did
Palmer
this.
Luckey?
Palmer Luckey is his name, yep.
Palmer Luckey.
Yep, in Long Beach, California.
Oh, dude, it's such a bummer that it wasn't Lucky Palmer. Because that sounds so much better. Like, what's your name? My name's Chuck Benz. And it's just like, what?
Chuck Benz?
It's just lame. What's your name? Matt Jehoshaphat? Matt Jehoshaphat, what's your name? Lucky Palmer. It's just like, yeah, Lucky Palmer could be like a friggin', he could be like a superhero, not a superhero, but like an adventurer. There's a name I came up with, Swiss Buckner.
Swiss Buckner.
And I might be, I'm not going to spoil anything, but I might be doing a...
Does he like to eat Swiss cheese?
Shut up. He might be doing a radio show. I might be doing a radio show, where no visuals, just one of those old-fashioned kind of, the Lone Ranger kind of.
Oh, yeah, with that voice.
Yeah, so that's what I may
Running
end up
up
doing.
the pathway.
And I may do the adventures of Swiss Buckner. And that might be something that I just throw on my channel from time to time. Get all the sound effects and everything. Who knows? All right, so anyway, continue. Yes. Lucky Palmer.
So... No,
Lucky Palmer.
Palmer Lucky. I'm sure he would appreciate it if his name was...
What a screw-up. If I was his parents, I would have been like, no, we're switching that.
Anyways, moving on.
Moving on.
So yes, Palmer Luckey created a prototype in his garage where he basically took a pair of ski goggles and he basically just attached a small LED screen to it, and he put a motion tracking device in there, head tracking and everything, so that you can put the device on you like this and you can just move your head all over the place. And even looking behind you and everything, and everywhere, and you literally would be immersed in an entire game world. And they have a whole company now working with this. Last I saw, the company actually has 69 employees at Oculus VR.
69.
69. Yeah.
It's a terrific number.
Rob.
Now for the 100% of the people who already know what the Oculus Rift are that are watching, why don't you explain the damn update?
Okay.
Go ahead. Give us an update on the Oculus Rift, which is a game name, by the way, not a console name at all. The Oculus Rift.
Okay, well, anyways.
I'm excited for it, but the name is
I mean, it just stinks up because on another side note, they have a dev kit out, and even though they have sold over 50,000 dev kits, and unfortunately, I have not yet had the opportunity or experience to even experience it myself, which is kind of a bummer, but I'm waiting anxiously for the consumer version to come out. I already got my money for it, whatever the cost may be, but anyways, update, yes.
Holy crap.
They recently they came out with another prototype. It's called the Crystal Cove. It's actually not, it's not being sold to developers yet. It was actually just a prototype. They had it. It was called CES 2014. I think, which was in Las Vegas, I think, might be. But anyways, they had, the item was on display for people to try out. It had a latency update to it. Had a new, a kind of new head tracking to it, where they have a camera and everything that you can, actually lean forward and stuff rather than just moving your head all over the place. But and I guess, a lot of people say that they're completely blown away by it. And also resolution-wise, the previous version was only at 720p, and now this one's actually at 1080, and they actually might consider making a version with 4K in the future too. So
4K.
4K.
Now that's something.
That's kind of. They can't do it yet, but they're thinking about it.
No, they definitely cannot do it yet.
But also,
by the way, the headset starting price costs $1,200. I'm sorry, that's probably ridiculously low compared to what it would actually cost.
Looking at it from a competitor's point of view, Sony is actually working on their own competitor's version of a virtual reality headset, and I gotta tell you, honestly, I think it sucks. Their competitor version...
Don't you dare say Sony sucks to me ever again.
No, Sony does not
Never.
Suck. Sony,
Shut up.
Rob,
Shut up, dirty boy.
Sony does not suck. It's their Oculus Rift competing version that really looks like it's gonna suck.
Whatever.
But anyways,
here's the thing. Sony's just they're a powerhouse, but... they can screw things up.
Yeah,
like anybody. So.
And also, recently, Valve Software, the creators of what game were we just discussing that Valve created was
Portal.
Portal, yes. Valve actually, also the team that actually helps to operate Steam. They actually, the rumor was that they created their own VR headset, and they had theirs on display, and people were actually blown away by it. Even Palmer Luckey tried it out. And
Palmer.
He said that he was completely blown away by their version, but I guess then the facts came out, and Valve said that they're not actually going to be making their own VR headset. They're actually going to be they're going to give their technology to Oculus VR so that they can take their technology and, implement it and make it even a lot better than it is. They've actually already said, too, that the consumer version is shaping up to be 10 times better than what they originally planned it to be. So
now that's just passing the love. Just passing
I
love.
cannot wait. When I first hear about the consumer version, I am pre-ordering that little dude, and
I bet you are.
And when I get that thing, Rob, I'm gonna be able to come home some days and be like, you know what? I feel like taking a virtual vacation somewhere. You know what? Let me just put the Oculus Rift on. Let me look all over the place. Oh man, cool.
And then someone walks into the room and starts laughing and recording me on their phone and throwing stuff at me, and I'm also, tweaking the hell out because I have no idea what's going on.
Another company is also making an accessory device called the Omni Treadmill, in which you've heard about that?
Yes, I've heard about it.
Basically, it is.
Come on, man. I mean, that's... What do you make the Omni wings to? Why do you build a freaking jet for the people to get in?
They do. There are some game developers out there that are making flight simulation games.
Yeah, flight simulation is fine, but what about an actual jet?
Hey, actually,
soon here's the thing. Soon the simulations are going to get so real that it's just why don't you just do the crap? Okay, well, the simulation. So what you're going to do for this flight simulator? You're gonna go into you're going to ride in you're gonna pilot a Harrier, okay, a jet. You're gonna get in a jet, okay, and it's just and here we are. We have your headset, and you wear the special helmet, and you put on your little Omni parachute, and you get in your Omni jet, and the jet actually flies through the air, and people are like, why don't you just fly a freaking jet? You know what I'm saying? Come on. That's how it's going to be. And that's how I think it is.
And also, I think what's interesting and what's also, anxious to find out is that John Cormack, who I've heard is also a well-respected game developer within the industry, he's actually currently at Oculus. They say that he's working behind closed doors, and he's actually working on future products for the Oculus Rift, and that rumor even has that even employees at Oculus VR don't even know what he's working on. He's behind his desk, coding stuff, coming up with items, and it's just, I'm anxious to see what the future for VR is going to be like after when the Oculus Rift comes out. But I'm definitely gonna be a buyer of this product.
I think VR. It's time.
Yeah,
I think it is. And it's cool. And Oculus Rift has a lot of momentum right now, and that's just really cool. So let's
the head tracking idea and everything, with just the fact that they've corrected the motion blur and everything, so that there's just just when it comes out, it's gonna be so state of the art. I bet. I cannot wait.
I'm looking forward to it too. To be honest, I just think the name is ridiculously stupid. It sounds like a band.
Oculus?
No, Oculus Rift. Like that sounds like a band.
A band?
Or it sounds like a game.
Yeah,
it doesn't sound like a console. It's just like, I wonder what Lucky Palmer was thinking. Lucky Palmer. What a great name. But I mean, what do you think? Like, how old are you? Like, you know what I mean? That's like, as I said in the last show that we did, that's like naming yourself, like, what's your nickname for this thing? Call me Slash, or Spike, or Edge.
Well, despite what he says, Palmer Lucky, I support you.
No, Lucky Palmer's fine. That's fine. And I'm very pleased, and I'm excited to see what happens. I just don't like the name.
You just don't like the name Oculus Rift.
I don't like the name Oculus Rift.
Well, I mean, the name's one thing, but then,
But the device,
once you're going to put on the item, once you put it on and you actually play some first-person shooter game, oh my god, I love the Oculus Rift! It's so amazing! It's so cool! God, Oculus Rift!
Calm down a bit. You're screwing the levels up, all right?
Yeah, nice little pitch right there.
Thanks. So, let's talk about, really quickly, you saw what movie in theaters, which is still in theaters right now?
I recently just saw Lone Survivor starring Mark Wahlberg, which was such a great war movie.
I've heard very good things. I have not seen it myself, but I have heard tremendous things, and I had already known of the story before that, the movie. And I think it's about time they made a movie, to be honest, because that story's it's really wow, you know what I mean?
And what I also thought was interesting, too, which, I thought was really cool, is that Marcus Luttrell, I think his name, I can't pronounce his last name correctly, but
who cares? Just roll with it.
But he was Marcus. He was actually the real Navy SEAL who actually survived among the 4 that were attacked on stuff. And I think it's actually really cool how he actually helped with the production of Lone Survivor. I've watched actually in some clips of behind the scenes footage where he would actually get really close with the actors, and especially the director Peter Berg, and he would even help Peter Berg, direct the actors and whatnot and stuff, which I think was actually a really cool thing to give them the actual real feeling of what went down and stuff. So very emotional movie. I actually cried during the movie. I'm not gonna.
You dirty bird.
I mean, I actually cried at the ending and stuff where there was a scene.
I can get that.
It was fine though. I went to go see it with my dad, and I guess at the end of the movie, they show like the actual pictures of the people that were involved, and my dad just broke down crying next to me.
And I'm sure that jerked your tears.
Thank God
I'm sure that jerked the hell out of your tears.
Thank God the theater room was dark, because I was even getting a little teary-eyed myself, and I was just...
That's a thing. When you see like a parent cry, you're just like,
and not
stop
only that,
doing that.
My dad was even getting into it, like in certain scenes where like when like something bad's about to happen, but then all of a sudden the good guys come in, my dad's like, he's sitting there like he was simulating like a machine gun. He's like, yes. There's
that one guy in there that everyone's just like,
I'm just looking, I'm like, really? Are you serious? But yes, no.
Bro, we're here trying to watch a movie, dude. Can you calm down? He's just like,
yes. I'm like, okay, Dad, you can calm down a bit, man. Come on.
I know, just chill, dude. Chill, bruh.
But definitely, the movie, despite the concept of the movie involving 3 Navy SEALs that were, unfortunately killed in battle, but the movie itself, though, like production-wise, it was so well made. It was very good, and
yeah, that's great. There's been a lot of buzz about it.
Yeah, it was Mark Wahlberg was fantastic in it, and it was just, even, like the work with like the blood and everything in it, like those like kind of effects were just really well done too. It's just it almost like made you feel like it really sucked you in. It's like, oh my god, like I think like some people could even almost be traumatized from that movie because it was so realistic looking.
And I'm gonna mention this real quick. I haven't seen Lone Survivor yet, but I watched Saving Private Ryan, which I'm sure almost everyone has. I watched that movie when it first came out. I can't remember how young I was, but I watched it in theaters, and I was just like captivated. And I was just like, wow, what a great friggin' movie. I can't watch it now. Seeing it, I'm just like, oh my God, like, how did I sit through this when I was a kid?
Yeah.
Like, right now, like, this is just so much emotion, and I'm just sitting there like, this is ruining my day. And I get, and it's just like, well, Rob, people actually died, sorry your day was ruined. And it's just like, no, I get that, but it's like watching one of those PETA investigates, some chain restaurant thing and how they skin cats alive
man.
How they grow chickens out of rocks, and the chickens have like deformed, the chickens have large talons. But it's just like I can't watch it. It's just, it ruins my whole day, and I think about it and I sit there and oh my God, like I realize that people out there make big sacrifices.
Yeah,
and I tip my hat to them. Every step of the way and everything like that, and it's just, but I can't. Man, I just can't sit there and watch it just like it's entertainment. It just, I can't, and I don't know.
And also another note too. I've seen videos of this on YouTube. Going back to Marcus, the real Navy SEAL who survived. If you're a person who does interviewing sessions and stuff, and if you're a news person, and if you're going to interview Marcus, make sure you have your facts right about him, and make sure that if you're going to talk to him and ask him questions, try to make sure that the words are coming out of your mouth the right way, because I've watched 2 interviews. One interview was with him and Mark Wahlberg, and then another interview I saw with him and the other cast members. And one of the interviews, the guy was asking him questions and was saying statements, and then Marcus just looks at him and he's basically saying, he's like, where are you getting your facts from? He's like, where in the movie exactly did you see this? Like, he's not afraid to really make an awkward scene. Like, he was not afraid to express himself, saying like, where are you getting your information from? Like, why are you asking me these questions?
Why should a guy like that be anywhere near hesitant to just tell you, like, shut the hell up?
He's been through some hell. I mean, because the stories I heard about what he actually really went through, it's like, wow.
It's pretty crazy stuff, to be
I can't believe,
from what I've heard.
It's like, wow. So, it's like, Marcus, it's like, I salute you.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you this. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It always blows my mind how much people can survive and then how much they can't survive. You've got a person who can survive something like Marcus survived, and then you've got someone who gets an offender bender and their head explodes, and it's just like, what the heck? There's like no rhyme or reason for like why, like, people, like one guy, I watched a guy, he was driving a car, he was racing legally, and he wiped out his vehicle at over 90 miles per hour.
Oh, wow.
His vehicle was just ripped to shreds, and he broke like both of his legs, he broke his back or something, but he lived. And then you get another person who gets in an accident going 25 miles per hour on an icy road, and it's just they're completely, it's just like you can only identify them by their dental records.
Yeah.
It's just like, that kind of stuff blows my mind. But speaking of, and here's something I want to announce, and that, because someone asked about television shows. Mm-hmm. And let's touch on my favorite.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me what it is, Bob.
Oh, I never even, I'm yet...
Tell me what my favorite television show is.
Breaking Bad.
Yes, very good, Bob.
Which I am yet to watch.
I waited until it came out on Netflix because I hadn't caught up with it, and I heard these great things, and all my white friends were trying to get me to watch it.
Where did that come from?
I don't know. It's just I've never had a black person tell me to watch Breaking Bad.
Oh,
I don't know. So
moving on, shall we?
Yeah, let's move on. That wasn't racist, by the way. But no, it's a joke. But I don't know. Like, so I watch it. It's just amazing. You're gonna be watching it.
Yes,
I'm gonna force you to
am
watch
yet to get into it. I gotta say though, one of my all-time favorite shows.
Oh God, please!
It's not. I'm not gonna talk about it. I'm just gonna name it.
It's like it's not even the same realm of what. Go ahead.
I absolutely love 2.5 Men, but not the. I mean, there's a few good ones with the Ashton Kutcher, but I'm mainly all about the one with Charlie Sheen. Despite all the real crap, unfortunately, that's going on in his life, but I actually.
The crap? Are you kidding me? He loves this.
I actually love the Charlie Sheen version of 2.5 Men.
Well, you're going to be watching Breaking Bad, and in future episodes, Bob's going to talk about his experience with Breaking Bad. I can't talk about it now because he hasn't seen Breaking Bad, and
I'll get to the breaking point.
If you haven't, go watch Breaking Bad. It's
here
incredible.
I am one day going over to Justin's house. Justin's on his computer. I'm browsing on my iPhone, and you're over there, just checking it out. You're watching Breaking Bad, and I'm sitting there
on my phone.
Yeah, and I'm sitting there just trying to, do my business, and all of a sudden, just to my right, I hear, "Oh my God! Oh yes! That's it! Get him! Oh my God! I can't believe he's about to do that! Oh!" And I look over, and Rob's all like, "Oh my God! What just happened?"
A show has never done that,
Jeez.
and you'll see. But anyway, guys, I want to wrap it up. This has been the first, you're probably witnessing either I have it going live, but I have it also HD, and you're probably watching the HD version if you're seeing this anytime after now. And remember, Gavagan Dark starts, I'm going to probably do 9 p.m. Monday nights, and it's filmed live at 10 p.m. on Saturday nights.
So stay tuned.
So come by my channel every Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm on the East Coast of the United States. And I hope, thank you to everyone who's already thumbs up this video. I hope you'll thumbs up the next. I don't know. I'll check after.
But yes, thank you to all who thumbs
this is,
up.
I'm your host, Rob Dyke, and this is Bob from...
Bob is Weird TV.
So go check out his channel, Bob is Weird
also
TV.
With Bob is Weird TV, I've heard that people have had trouble looking up my thing, so it's all one word, Bob is Weird TV.
Bob is Weird TV. All right. And thank you so much for watching. If this is your first time, I hope you will thumbs up. I hope you will favorite, and I hope you will subscribe to my channel. And thank you very much for watching.
Same thing applies to me.
No, I'm just kidding. Same thing applies to him.
Same thing.
Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you.
We really appreciate it. And we will see you next Monday night or Saturday night. Depends on if you want to catch the live show of Gavagan Dark. Take care. And I salute you with all the salutes.
Saluting.
Goodbye.